Hello, Doc. I am Janice Macayan from BSN 1A, and you were tasked each of us to make a video presentation regarding on our understanding on the organ system you have discussed. So, um, we have 11 organ system in the body which are very important uh, of every human being because it's the deterioration of one of each is maybe make the failure of an organ or the human body. So the 11 system are the integumentary system, the muscular system, the skeletal system, the nervous system, the circulatory system, the lymphatic system, the respiratory system, the endocrine system, the urinary system or the excretory system, the reproductive system, the digestive system, and the muscular system. But today, I'm gonna focus on the male reproductive system and the sperm production, or also known as the spermatogenesis. So, male reproductive system. So, male reproductive system is divided into two structures, the internal structures and the external structures. So, I'm gonna discuss first about the internal structures of the male reproductive system. The internal structures consist of the epididymis, vas deferens, seminal vesicles, the ejaculatory ducts, the bulbourethral gland, or also known as the Cowper's gland, and also the urethra. Um, so first is the epididymis. So the epididymis is the thin coiled, thin coiled. It is the tiny coiled tube in the inside the I don't know. It is a tiny cylindrical tube responsible for conducting the sperm from the tubule to the vas deferens. So to to make for us not to imagine it. So I have the picture here. If you can clearly see it. So where is my pen? So um, so this is the epididymis. This one, the tiny coiled ducts, tiny coiled ducts. This one. So if a mature sperm cells, when the mature sperm cell, so it will travel in the tube, and then here, then here. So it's conducting the sperm from the tubule to the vas deferens. So this is the first way for the sperm cells to pass through, and then the next is the vas deferens. So the vas deferens is a hollow tube convoluted. It is a hollow tube protected by a thick fibrous coating surrounded by arteries and veins. So the epididymis, for us to take a closer look on the epididymis. So as you can see, the epididymis is this one from here. Then it's a tightly coiled tube responsible for conducting the sperm from the tube due to the vas deferens. So when the mature sperm cell goes out here, then it travels here in the epididymis to the vas deferens. So to the vas deferens, so it is a coiled to the vas deferens. So here is the vas deferens, wherein vas deferens is a hollow tube protected by a coating thick coating and surrounded by arteries and veins. So as you can see, it is a hollow tube. It's a hollow tube like that. You can see, there are, kung makikita mo, yan, may mga veins and arteries. So, its functions is to carry the sperm through the inguinal canal from the epididymis. So, from the epididymis to the abdominal cavity, wherein it will end at the seminal vesicles and the ejaculatory duct. So, tika nga di ba adian, ang tawag ini, an epididymis. So, this is the epididymis, travel her, then this is the vas deferens or the ductus deferens. Then, it will travel to here, and then after, if the mature sperm cell travel from the epididymis to the ductus deferens or the vas deferens, then the next destination is the seminal vesicles, wherein in the seminal vesicles, you can see it is. So from the epididymis, the mature sperm cell will travel to the ductus deferens or the vas deferens, then into the seminal vesicle. Seminal vesicles, there are two convoluted pouches along the lower portion of the posterior surface of the bladder. So there are two seminal vesicles. So it is located posteriorly from the bladder. So this is the bladder, this is the urinary bladder. So the back of it is the seminal vesicles. Seminal vesicle, wherein seminal vesicle seminal vesicle secrete a liquid that is viscous and alkaline. So the seminal vesicle secrete a liquid which is viscous, means it's a malapot, and alkaline, where it contain high protein, sugar, and a prostaglandin content. This liquid that's secreted by the seminal vesicle helps the sperm moves or increase the sperm's motility. So it's help in the sperm as it swims. Yeah. And then the next is the ejaculatory duct. So from the seminal vesicles, this one from the seminal vesicles, the sperm cells then go to the ejaculatory duct. So this is the ejaculatory duct. It is a it is a duct wherein the sperm cell pass through here, and it is located near the uh, near the prostate gland. So it's like a boundary between the seminal vesicles and the urethra. This is the seminal vesicles, then the ejaculatory duct, and this portion is the urethra. So after here in the ejaculatory duct, the mature sperm cell will uh, later let's talk about the sperm cell. Let us talk first about the internal structure of the male reproductive system. So so the next external structure is internal structure is the prostate gland. So the prostate gland is located inferiorly from the bladder. So it is a chestnut-sized gland, so small. So it's very important also to the sperm because it secretes a thin alkaline fluid that adds protection to the sperm from being immobilized by the low pH level of the urethra. So it secretes a thin alkaline fluid that it's protect the sperm if the urethra is in a low pH level. While the next from here the prostate gland, so here, so then after the next external structure is the bulbourethral gland. So this is the bulbourethral gland, or it's also known as the Cowper's gland. So it is also very important to the sperm because it is also secrete alkaline fluid that counteract the acidic environment of the urethra. So if the prostate gland protection for the sperm cell, if the level of the urethra is low, while the bulbourethral gland it's counteract the acidic environment in the urethra. So they are very important because they balance. They really help the sperm cell to pass through the duct system and to be excreted by the urethra during the ejaculation. So the shape in addition, prostate gland it's like a donut. So it's really like a donut wherein the urethra is passes through the center of the prostate gland. So it passes in the center. So that's all for the in addition, the first, so because of the liquid that secretes by the external structure, some of the internal structures, the products that excreted is the semen, not the sperm. So it is composed of 60% of prostate gland, 30% from the seminal vesicles, 5% from the epididymis, and 5% from the bulbourethral glands. So the last one, the last uh, internal, the last internal organ or structure is the urethra, wherein so this is the urethra. So it has so from the urinary bladder, so this is where the urine passes, the urethra. This is where the urine passes, and this is where the sperm passes also. So it is a hollow lined tube which is made with mucous membrane. So it has length of approximately 8 inches. So it's so that's the internal structure. So let's go to the external structure of the male reproductive system. So external structure are composed of the scrotum, the testes, and the penis. So the scrotum. The scrotum is the responsible for the support of the testes. So this is the outer part of the testes. It's the one that covers the testes, and it regulates the temperature of the sperm. So it's look like rugated. It's a muscular, skin-covered pouch over the perineum. So since it regulates the body temperature during the sperm, the temperature of the sperm. So during cold weather, it contracted toward the body. So ini bagat na kuro kun ginahagkot. While if there is a hot weather, so it relaxes away from the body. So it also promotes the production and the viability of the sperm. So So next is the testes. So the testes is this one testes. So in most men, one testes is slightly lower than the other. Why? So it is because it is to prevent or to avoid trauma and to make them easily sit or do any muscular activity. Right, doc? Right. So it is it is an oval. So it is an oval shaped gland lies in the scrotum. It is 2 to 3 centimeter in width and it encapsulated in a protective white fibrous tissue. So the closer look of the testes. So the next is the testes. So the testes is a two oval shape glands lies in the scrotum. So it is 2 to 3 centimeter in width, and encapsulated in a protective white fibrous tissue. So this is the white fibrous capsule. So Um, so each testes has several lobules inside of it, which contains Leydig cells that produce testosterone, and while the seminiferous tubules produces spermatozoa. So let's take a closer. So this is the sperm cell. So this is the epididymis, and this is the ductus deferens. So from here, so it is said that the tubules, the testes is contain of several lobules. So there's several lobules because this one, this is called the seminiferous tubule. So the seminiferous tubules, the so the let's say the covering of it is known as the lobule. So it is divided, this one, lobule. You can see lobule. So our further division, it is called the septum or the septa. This one, septum. So each So here in the seminiferous tubule, this is where the sperm production happen, or the spermatogenesis. This is where the sperm or the spermatozoa produced. So the next external structure is the penis. So the penis. So the penis has three parts. Two corpus cavernosa, and the other is the corpus spongiosum. So this is the corpus cavernosa. This is the spongus cavernosa. There are two sponges from side to side, and the the lower part is the corpus, and inferiorly is the corpus spongiosum. So this erectile tissue contains the urethra, making the penis outlet and both urinary and reproductive function. So for our information, erection of the penis is stimulated by the parasympathetic nerve innervation because of the blood supply came from the penile artery. So it is because of the pressure of the blood. So that's why the penis erect. So amo na to. This is the glans penis. And inside of it is the glans penis, and inside of it is the glans penis, and outside of it is the prepuce, or or outside of it is the prepuce or the foreskin, wherein this is a retractable, and usually this is the one, oh my god, and the outside part is the prepuce. This is the prepuce. The foreskin is also known as the foreskin, wherein usually it is the one that removed during the circumcision of every child. So that's all the internal and the external structure. So let's conclude nila. So the internal ama to. So for anong tawag ito? For summer, okay. So for summary, the internal structures are the epididymis, the ductus deferens or the vas deferens. Then it will travel to the seminal vesicles, then the ejaculatory duct, then the prostate gland, and then the urethra. This one, the urethra. While the external structure are composed of the testes, the scrotum, and the penis. So the next is the spermatogenesis of the sperm cell. So let's focus on the testes. So let's focus on the testes. So inside the testes, there are many lobules, just like what I said earlier. There are many lobules on the testes, and inside the lobules are the seminiferous tubules, where the sperm production happen, or the spermatogenesis. So as we cut the testes sagittally, it's give more specific understanding and location inside the testes. So let's go to the this is, if we cut the testes sagittally in a cross section. So if we cut the testes in a cross section, this will gonna be our will be the picture of it. So this is the this is the sertollicles are the one that support the sperm development, the epithelial cells. And then the next is the tight junction. This is the tight junction, wherein it's divided the basal compartment and the lunar compartment of the spermatogenesis. So wherein outside of it, so if these are the seminiferous tubules. So outside of it, di ba, may nakitaan ang lobule. So ganito nakakuan na ira. So may dangada hakuan an sinisiring nga Leydig cells, wherein anong Leydig cells amo to ang nagproduce ng testosterone that help in sperms. So amo to So, pakadto-kitahan. So, let's go before we go to the spermatogenesis, let's take a look first on the anatomy of the sperm cell. So, like what you see, this is the sperm cell. This is how a sperm cell look like. And sperm is also called a male gamete and spermatozoa. They are just similar. So for us to avoid confusion. So the first part of the sperm cell is known as the head. The next is this one is the midpiece, and this one is the tail. So the head, this is where the nucleus located. So the nucleus contains 23 chromosomes. So for us to remember, sperm is a haploid, so it has a symbol of N. So the next is this pink one above the nucleus is called the acrosome. Acrosome contain enzymes necessary for fertilization. So the next part is the midpiece. The midpiece wherein it is where the mitochondria located. So these are the mitochondria wherein it produces ATP. And we all know that ATP is the energy, produces energy in order for the sperm cell to move. So the next is the tail. The tail is also called as flagellum. It moves like a in a whip-like motion to propel sperm toward. So next one is the spermatogenesis, and of course in the spermatogenesis we're gonna have the sperm production and the Sertoli cells, wherein it is epithelial cells that support the sperm development, and then the seminiferous tubules, wherein the maturation of the process of maturation of the sperm cell took place. So let's take a closer look. So let's imagine that this is the cutted seminiferous membrane. So this is the basement membrane, and this part is the Sertoli cell. There are two Sertoli cells. Here is also a Sertoli cell. And this is the tight junction, this one, and it is divided the basal compartment from here, the basal compartment from the lumen compartment, and then the basal compartment. So how the process of spermatogenesis take place? So this started from a germ cell or the spermatogonia. So from here it will take the process of the mitosis. So it will be 2N. So from mitosis, it will now be the next process is the primary spermatocytes. So it will Now take place the meiosis 1 process. So this 1. So it's gonna be 2n times 2. So now it takes place again the meiosis 2, the secondary spermatocyte. So there it will divide into 2, and it will be called as n by 2. Then the next is the spermatids, wherein it is a it's still not a matured and developed cell, so it's still an immature, so it's in spermatid. So the last process is the maturation and the development stage. So wherein it will be called spermatozoa. So it is like these are the matured sperm cell. So in summary, so spermatogenesis start from the spermatogonia, then the take place the mitosis, then the primary spermatocytes, then the meiosis 1, secondary spermatocytes, then the meiosis 2, then the spermatids, then the maturation and development, then the production or the maturation and the development of the spermatozoa. So for our information, there are 50 to 500 million sperm cells per ejaculation. So that's all.